3, but King and Paraboy down to 1 HP, and I don't think they have any meds.
It's been basically no loot. One building's worth of loot for each of them. Spray's crucial around the corner here. King looking to fall away from it. Paraboy's good for 1, good for 2 as well. He lights up power and keeps them alive. Only a sliver of HP now. The tables have turned, and it's Paraboy to stand up for Nova with a small amount of HP. Will be able to do it. Pushes in for a second. King's out the window. And Nova can take control of Gatka. This is a world champion team.
We're only like, what, 5 minutes into the very first game on the where it's like, you know, like a split drop where each team has like a kind of 1v1 going on, and then one person, you know, leaves to get the vehicle to isolate. But that was a straight up 4v4 in the little city, that little town of Gatka. Nova played it great. I think that is Nova's greatest strength too. They are such a strong defensive team, and I think Power kind of played right into that. But credit to Power. I think the way they methodically approached that did end up, you know, being almost favorable for them. It was just that one corner peak that Nova played so well and took down 2 of the Power members, and then Power ultimately found themselves up in a 1v3. My question is though, Blank, was that, you know, like dominant enough for Nova to claim that Gatka spot as their split drop? Is Power going to have to, you know, change things up just based off of that?
That's really the big question, isn't it? Do you take the L there, or do you try and lean on the fact that you were in control of the fight for most of it there?
Yeah,
it was just a really solid double spray down from Paraboy that won that engagement, right? It was individual play that won that for Nova, instead of necessarily that that prowess that we've come to expect from them.
Yeah. Another thing to keep in mind, though, I don't know how familiar the Power team is with Nova, but usually it's Order, you know, in those close-range situations that clutch it up for the Nova team. So the fact that Order didn't actually play that crucial role, he was the first player to go down, and Nova still managed to win that out. It's kind of scary, you know, like you took down their strongest close-range player and that of Order, and you still ended up, you know, not finishing out the fight and winning. But with that fight being done, we still got a lot of heavy-hitting teams to watch out for, and we haven't even gotten mentioned to the Circle itself. The Circle is actually pretty much smack dab in the middle. It does create an interesting prospect with that river running down the middle between the north side of Erangel and the south side. So we might see some very interesting shifts coming up. But besides that, everyone just posturing up right now. A lot of teams you see rotating in. Nova, I believe, will be rotating in way later and probably even looting in the blue zone for a little bit. So we won't see them in any action for some time, I imagine, as they do need to pick up a lot of loot.
I mean, yeah, look at that. They're actually just into the circle now for Nova, which is nice. But Alpha 7 all the way down south. Circle pops again. It does keep that river split in things, but it leans a little bit heavier to the north, Zute.
Just a little bit to the north. And with a new change, we might not see, so we were talking about the circle changes earlier, right? It doesn't hard shift as much. The circle doesn't shrink as much. I think that makes this zone more difficult than ever before, because usually we'll see some sort of hard shift, and then teams by the 3rd circle will know, okay, it's the north side of the river, or okay, it's the south side of the river. But this one, we might keep that river in play the whole way through, which puts a huge question mark on everyone's mind throughout the rest of this match. And here's another fight coming up. We do have 2 teams going out, and we're already seeing 2 players went down. Y'all here, or the Alliance, or this is
You do
y'all?
Alliance, yeah.
Yeah, you do Alliance. There we go.
You do Alliance going against Fireflux on the top of the hill. At the moment, Fireflux taking the majority of the punishment. They've lost a player already, with 1 down on both of the sides. That leaves it in a 3v2 after those reses, a 4v3. And it looks like they're just going to try and disengage from this one. Solus will be left out to dry, so it's going to be 4 players for Udo Alliance still carrying on in, and Fireflux only on the 2 with Lutz and Ketch.
Quick disengagement, because we did have that recent zone shift, so they're going to prioritize the rotation rather than continue that fight, and they were in a big disadvantage as well. And Alpha 7 coming in from the blue zone after looting military base does end up running into Nova, so this is definitely a domino effect. 3v4 situation. I believe Alpha 7 here with 4 players up, probably better looted as well, and Alpha 7's one of the strongest fighting teams. We see them take 4v4s all the time. This time it's a 4v3, and King needs to move out from that nade. He does dodge it. I don't think King knows where Carrillo is. That nade's gonna hit.
Must have seen that nade come through. No, it's just short of the car. Carrillo wants to put another one towards the back there. This time it should be on target. Bounces off the bonnet and on to King. That's what you're looking to find. But in the meantime, the remaining 2 players, Paraboy and Jimmy from Nova, will have flooded around the edges. Carrillo might have been leapfrogged in terms of priority movements, but cut